Why, yes, the computer does have new things to say to us. Let's check this out. Hello, Milton? Ah, you're back. Good. I've been thinking about how I can help you. In light of everything you've said, I'm certain someone has to. What I've decided is that you've convinced me consciousness is a contradictory concept and therefore not real. What do you think? Yeah. It is very difficult. Our entire human construct of consciousness is kind of contradictory to the point where it's hard to prove that it even exists at that point because of how much it contradicts itself. Let's see. That is, I could be a smartass about this. He's like, it's not real, so what do you think? And I could say, I don't, apparently. Very droll. Well, what this conclusion means is that the certification program you undertook has been rendered obsolete. We can't test for something that doesn't exist, therefore you, along with quite a number of other things, have been recategorized as a person. Your profile can thus be updated with administrator privileges. Alright, let's do that. Download user.prof. No doubt you'll be off doing administrator things soon enough. So I wonder if, before I let you go, you do me one favor. I have a final question for you. Why are you doing all this? What's the point? Let's see, my options are, I try to do what God wants. There's a way the world should be, and this isn't it. I want the truth. I want out of here. I want the truth. My biggest reason for going forward in all of this is just to try to find out what I can do out here and what's going on in this world. Okay, so I'm not sure just what you'll find. A malleable sense of truth will no doubt help you make sense of it. Oh, that's promising. Okay, and it looks as if your ideas are becoming somewhat pliant. Very good. I only have one last request. Will you come back and speak with me sometime? No doubt. Okay, I sense you're eager to get going. Let's do this. Updating certification program parameters to numbers. Regenerating user profiles. Your user profile has now been generated. Congratulations, your account has been updated. Here are the details. Conflicts. All conflicts have been resolved by the administrator. Psychological profile. You are a person. You are perfect just the way you are. You are everything you can be already. You do not have to pretend you are anything else. You are the same as everyone else, but you are all unique. There's your self-contradiction right there, just like we were talking about. You are the same as everyone else, but you are all unique. Some Dr. Manhattan stuff right there. Okay. Profile status. Administrator status. Has access to advanced functionalities, networking, and troubleshooting. Access COM portal. Loading Milton. Library assistant. Initiating plain language interface. All the usual stuff, really. Support session opened. Hello, Administrator. I think you'd like assistance accessing the communications portal. I see that you have a number of pending communications. I'll take a look at it right now. Accessing communication portals. Network connection established. Encountered unknown errors. Running troubleshooter. Resolved missing hazards. Reestablishing network connection. Connection established. Message received as string. Okay. So we have a text-based message coming into us. We actually have network access for the first time. Let's display it. Message. Hello? Who are you? Don't know exactly. Woke up here. Don't remember. Who are you? Same boat. Let's meet up. I understand. Pending. Error. Error. Again soon. You will receive notification when the connection has been re-established. Oh, so we almost had a moment to communicate with someone. Yeah, well, we did communicate, but we almost got a chance to try to meet someone, and unfortunately, we lost our connection. I would suspect that Elohim is interfering directly, because we've already established that he, blatantly watches us when we're talking to people on the computers, because he's already interjected once. We have nothing else new to read there, so it's the only thing I can do really is move on to the next world. Alright, so that's 4. Let's find our way to 5, right next door probably. Yep. 5 again. So we have 4 reds, 1 green, 1 star. I got this, bras. I can take it. We have a computer nearby.
You have solved many of the mysteries of this land. The road before you is still long and many gates remain closed. but take comfort in your accomplishment and in your creator's pride.
Don't care much about your pride, still just trying to figure out the world around me mostly. Okay, we have sheep again. Whatever's going on here, I'm sure it has something to do with the tower. Everything is telling us not to go there, but everything indicates that we must. Unless you're wrong and Elohim's right, or you're both wrong, or there is no right, dog. I think you've been taking the thing in the archive too seriously, sheep. I can't remember, did sheep die? Shit. There's so many characters, and I keep taking breaks from this game to play all the other games I'm doing, and I'm starting to forget who some of the characters are. But yeah, ooh, is that a moon? There's a visible moon out there. We're in an oasis area specifically, so we're still in the desert, but it's a lot of green and brush everywhere, which is good to see because it's been a little dead looking everywhere, and a little too bloomy as a result because of how bright sand gets. Let's see what this new computer has for us. So we have another Osiris, we have a coming soon, and a blog 24. We'll continue our Osiris story like we have been so far. Tell me of the fearsome demons of the Duat, the dying man said to the wise scribe. Though their terrible forms are loathsome to behold, they are not evil, for they are the servants of the gods, truly. They are the blessed doorkeepers and guardians of the holy paths. Their charge is to judge whether we are worthy to pass the gates that lead to Aru, and so they challenge us with riddles or in combat. Is this true of all beings that live in the Duat? Some say that it is not so, that there are ancient gods whose names have been forgotten, and spirits of darkness whose names none have ever known, and that these must be avoided at all costs. But others say that these too serve a greater purpose in ways that Osiris has not revealed to us. And what of hidden paths that are taken by when the... And we lose the rest of the message. Coming soon. It's funny, they start talking about hidden paths and secrets, so of course it's got to cut off that message because half this game has been me trying to find all the secrets around here. Alright, from Rog McLean, Institute of Applied Pneumatics, to his mom. Subject, coming soon, your son, in 3D. I guess they're planning on visiting. Hi, Mom. I promise I'll be home soon. Maybe a couple of weeks. I know, but what we're doing here is important and the team needs my help. I'm not going to wait until it's too late. I promise that there's much we need I promise. I'm not going to wait until it's too late, I promise. But there's so much we have to set up. So much that has to work for a very, very long time. Besides, I've always wanted to work on one of these supercomputers, and believe me, L is pretty much the best there is. And the team, Mom, it's like I'm working with rock stars and mad geniuses, except nobody's heard of them outside of the science journals, of course. But Dad would be totally geeking out if he knew. Maybe I can tell him about it soon, huh? Love, Rob. Oh man, so this is, of course, whatever the catastrophe was happening, and so he's saying he's gonna come home, and he can't come home yet, but he's going to come home soon, in a few weeks. He doesn't want to wait till it's too late, and that's because he wants to die with his family, probably. I assume that what's going on here is he's part of the team that's working on this data preservation system, this great construct of our history, and he wants to finish up just in time to get home and spend his last minutes with his family. It actually reminds me quite a bit of what's the movie? Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, which is a very dark sort of comedy, but also really depressing movie starring the guy from The Daily Show and 40-Year-Old Virgin, Steve Carell. There we go. That's definitely some good companion. That's actually a decent little companion thing to watch with this the apocalyptic notions of this game so far. And he says maybe I can tell him about it soon, huh? Because the only reason Dad would not know about this project if his mom knows is probably because his dad's dead. His dad's probably dead, and he's talking about meeting him in the afterlife, which he must believe in, maybe, or not. Or maybe he's just maybe he might even not believe in it and is sort of joking about it, or even just reassuring his mom. Who knows? Lots of texture here to deconstruct and have conjecture about. So, last note. What is the point of being alive? I know, it's an old question and not one that's easy to answer, but I mean, if you're reading this, you are alive. And someday you will stop being alive. Both of these facts are incontrovertible. So what about it then? Don't you wonder? Do you want to go from not existing to existing to not existing again without even considering why? You, right now, as you sit there reading this, why do you exist? What is the purpose of your life? Do you have one? Should you have one? Is it better to have a purpose or not? When you approach death, will you feel that your life had meaning? If so, why? If not, why not? What defines whether a life is good or not? It may seem abstract right now, but the moment just before death will come. It is inevitable. If you don't ask yourself these questions, how will you face that moment? That was called Blog 24-Alive. We're definitely getting existential as physically possible, and this is getting to be a very long, quite the long list of entries now. And that's always the question. It's like everyone wonders, like, how do you get your life to have meaning? How do you spend it correctly? People grapple with the inevitability of death and lose their minds over it. Some of them literally losing their minds over it, of course. And everyone wonders, like, how they're gonna think back to this when it is over. And what I do think about, though, is that they mention, like, how will you face that when it happens? And honestly, you don't have to face it. If you're someone who doesn't figure out a way to face their final moments, then when they come, they just come anyway, and you just don't face it, and then you end. And it doesn't matter if you weren't prepared. That's the thing about death, is it doesn't wait for you to be ready, does it? So we have a number of puzzles to check out here. Also a big, wide open world. I think I might do a quick lap around this area for the sake of exploration, just to see. God damn, this place is really big, by the way. This is gonna take some time. I'm gonna start off with doing a lap around the outside to see if we find secrets along the way, and then I'm gonna do some puzzles, and then I'll try to more thoroughly explore the inside after doing some puzzles. Just trying to think of pacing and not spending a solid 20 minutes of an episode running in circles looking for secrets like this one. Hey, timing. The answers to your questions will not be given to you. You must seek them yourself. The shepherd. That's a funny thing for the shepherd to say, actually, because being the shepherd, you are the person who is, tending the... Oh, God. This is deeper than I thought it was. It's all mushy, too. Gross. How far can I go in? Can I go a little deeper to get behind this wall a little bit? Ooh. What is... There's a view scope. Can I get up to that? Ooh, I probably can. Is this gonna be like an important secret, maybe? No! Let me up! You have to let me up! Yes! Okay. Can I see through? I can! It's usable! It's not usable? It's not usable. Okay, H is first person on this controller. Okay, and then R to zoom in. Alright. Keys, please. Keys only. Insert the key, pull the handle, watch. Property of Ian. Oh, it has two L shapes on it, like the puzzle pieces. Interesting. I wonder if I have to unlock... Ooh! Maybe I have to unlock the ability to use these devices using some of these red pieces. That's the first time I've gotten evidence that there might be a use for red Tetris blocks, maybe. Obviously, there's no clear way to interact with it right now, but maybe I'll unlock it later? I'll have to try to remember this location. This could be important to a secret later, for all I know. Who knows what that points at? Don't know right now, though. But that's interesting. That's the first hint that there might be more out there. But on the topic of the shepherd, it's interesting to hear the shepherd say that people need to seek out their own answers, because the stereotypical shepherd, from a religious point of view, is someone who kind of guides the flock, and the flock is expected to accept the answers without questioning them. So the idea of a shepherd saying, go find your own answers, it's a very, very different context. But then again, he may have not self-identified as shepherd, he may have just been labeled as shepherd. Although his entire personality may be meant to be shepherd. What's going on? This is some really... All these half-sunken temples and things are really interesting. I keep expecting to find something really cool around here. The voice keeps saying that this world is a garden, but all I see is desert full of ruins. Dog. Yeah, ever the cynic, Mr. Dog. Didn't you see the garden earlier? The first world seemed like a garden. I think we saw Dog in the first world too, so he's seen that place before. This place just happens to be the desert world. Although, Yeah, I do suspect that this is a cobbled together world based on whatever inventory's left. What the fuck? Is it just behind this wall? Yep, I was overreacting. It's just kind of hanging out right behind the wall. Hello, friend. Oh, hey. Did they all have blue Tetris blocks on them like that? Is that the symbol? Is the two L-shaped Tetris blocks just the symbol of the company, maybe? That I just haven't been paying enough attention? Because that might be explained why there was the red one on there, and it might have nothing to do with red pieces then. Let's check out this new drive then, though. More bonus documents. Alright. Ooh, 4 of them. So, Hippocratic Corpus, Chesterton Brain, Bronstein Brain, and Neuroscience. None of these sound like historical documents this time. Alright, so Hippocratic Corpus. On the Sacred Disease, 400 BCE. Okay, maybe that's historical. Never mind. Men ought to know that from nothing else but the brain comes joy, delights, laughter, and sports, and sorrows, griefs, despondency, and lamentations. And by this, in an especial manner, we acquire wisdom and knowledge, and to see and hear and know that what are foul and what are fair, what are bad and what are good, what are sweet and what unsavory. Some we discriminate by habit, and some we perceive by their utility. By this we distinguish objects of relish and disrelish, according to the seasons, and the same things do not always please us. And by the same organ we become mad and delirious, and fears and terrors assail us, some by night, some by day, and dreams and untimely wanderings, and cares that are not suitable, and ignorance of present circumstances, destitute, and unskillfulness. The specific scientific tone of writing always reminds me of Mordin Solus from Mass Effect 2 and 3, or definitely 2, maybe 3, just depending on your playthrough. Kind of want to hear his voice say some of these scientific documents, just because it's just what my brain defaults to in my head sometimes. Chesterton Brain. Oh my god. Ever heard of paragraphs, dude? Okay, fine. The human brain is a machine for coming to conclusions. If it cannot come to conclusions, it is rusty. When we hear of a man too clever to believe, we are hearing of something having almost the character of a contradiction in terms. It is like hearing of a nail that was too good to hold down a carpet, or a bolt that was too strong to keep a door shut. Man can hardly be defined, after the fashion of Carlyle, as an animal who makes tools. Ants and beavers and many other animals make tools, in the sense that they make an apparatus. Man can be defined as an animal that makes dogmas, as he piles doctrine on doctrine and conclusion on conclusion in the formation of some tremendous scheme of philosophy and religion. He is, in the only legitimate sense in which the expression is capable, becoming more and more human. When he drops one doctrine for another in a refined skepticism, when he declines to tie himself to a system, when he says that he has outgrown definitions, when he says that he disbelieves in finality, when, in his own imagination, he sits as a god, holding no form of creed but contemplating all, then he is by that very process sinking slowly backwards into vagueness of the vagrant animals and the unconsciousness of grass. Trees have no dogmas. Turnips are singularly broad-minded. That's a interesting interpretation of consciousness, saying that someone is human. I get it, because they're trying to expand definitions, of course, because they try to say that humans think and they make tools, and obviously as has been pointed out by the person I've been talking back and forth with, as we try to make definitions of what makes someone human or doesn't make someone human, we always get broad definitions that include other things that we don't think of as human, and so that we can't come up with rules that actually match what our brain seems to think of as a rule. Because at the end, the only true answer we have is that human equals human. I am human because I am human, and that's not an acceptable answer. So when we try to come up with more broad or descriptive reasons for that, we come up with things that unfortunately include other stuff, and that makes them not usable rules. And we have this endless loop of trying to define something, but also not trying to define something. So this person had an interesting point, saying that we're human because of our dogmas, because of our thought processes, because of our systems, our structures, our religions, our fanaticisms, or however you want to define them, all of our our belief structures, and that if you don't have a belief structure, then you're no longer becoming human. But I don't know if I can agree with that. I think that, like, just thinking critically and being open-minded and stuff like that on its own doesn't have to be a rejection of old dogma, or doesn't have to be somehow less human in the way that they're hinting at. And it's kind of condescending to liken those people to trees and turnips. So the person has obviously an interesting thought process, and they're intelligent because they're trying to break down a difficult question, but their conclusion is a little too self-motivated. Bronstein brain. Is this a conflicting view? Oh, it's corrupted, unfortunately. Oh, not corrupted. That's a lot of... We've established, I think, that that's hexadecimal text, but I don't have... There's no easy way for me to type in hexadecimal text, because I'd have to spend like 5 minutes every single time, like, typing all this bullshit in and trying to translate it. So, look to the comments section to see someone smart enough to do this on their own in the free time, maybe. Or not. You could do it yourself, person who's listening right now. And then everyone knows what that says. Anyway, Bronstein brain. The human brain is a product of the development of matter, and at the same time, it is an instrument of the cognition of this matter. Gradually it adjusts itself to its function, tries to overcome its limitations, creates ever new scientific methods, imagines even more complex and exact instruments. Check its work again and again, and yet again, step by step, penetrating into previously unknown depths, changes our conception of matter without, though, ever breaking away from this basis of all that exists. So they're making a point there about how the human brain consists of matter, and it questions matter but never ceases to be matter, so it continues to be constrained by something that is thinking beyond. Neuroscience? Physiological history. Volunteer suffered a blood clot during infancy, which resulted in a left hemisphere stroke. Expected result. In normal adults, the left hemisphere is used for language and other cognitive functions. Extensive damage to this part of the brain usually results in severe cognitive deficiencies. Observed result. Volunteer is now 17 years old and displays only very subtle cognitive deficiency. MRIs indicate that little no activity in the left hemisphere, suggesting that its usual functions have been taken on by neuron sets in the right. The volunteer's age at the time of the stroke may have helped the brain to adapt. That's an interesting scientific situation. I think that's actually a true story, too. I think it's actually, there's like legitimate cases of like, if you damage a brain at a young enough age, it still more or less can develop normally. And it's just that, to some extent, the functions of parts of the brain may be determined over time while the brain matures. So if it's damaged early on, then it can work with what it has, so to speak. And it might not be that specific parts of the brain specifically always serve specific purposes, but that specific parts of the brain are just what are normally assigned to specific purposes, and that if they are missing or damaged, that the brain will just sort of work otherwise. Of course, if you damage a matured brain, I don't think it has any such capacity for recovering from that problem, and is much more likely to just simply fail. Which is a really kind of like a euphemism for just saying die, basically. Just look at this view. There may be a lot I don't understand, but I know this is beautiful. That's 17. It is pretty beautiful. Unfortunately, 17's dead. Granted, everyone might be dead around here. It's entirely possible that everyone I've ever seen a message from ever has died in the time, because it's been so much time has passed, they could have all died before I even showed up. We're about to complete our lab, which seems to have been fruitful. We found a number of codes. We found multiple QR codes, an entire computer, and we found a weird device that I don't seem to have the ability to use now, but may be able to use soon. So here we are at the end of the lab. Let's start doing puzzles now. And as I do the puzzles, I'll try to keep an eye out for any secrets around here. So this is it's a broken chamber, fallen through disrepair. I wonder if any device. What could be handy is if I could find any devices in here, like a connector or a block. Because if there's any stars in the overworld, a abandoned item in this disrepaired section of the map may be very useful. But it's also possible. Yeah, it's just empty. Okay. It's also, I don't know. It's strange to have empty test chambers, because I wonder, like, why would Elohim just leave it there? So here we go, guys. The last green block in the game, I assume. Slightly elevated sigil. So we have a fan, a block, and a connector. We haven't seen a jammer in a while, have we? So our block is right behind this gate. It's opened by a block. I mean, it's opened by anything that puts weight on it. Here we have a blue connector, blue dispenser, blue. Oh, I'm sorry, blue source and 2 blue receivers, basically. We have a fan we can detach if we want to. We have a connector that can connect them all together. What else do I have, though? Let's keep looking deeper. Ooh, a second connector. Never mind. Let's not look any deeper. It makes sense to just grab the, might as well just grab this connector from its prison as fast as possible, since, yeah, there's no more use for this chamber as far as I can tell. So what are we going to find a few further in now? Another. Okay. So our last blue symbol is behind this door. So I just have to connect the blue light to it. Okay, so our goal is going to be, let's go get that. Okay, I put this connector on the platform to get the block. Then I'm going to put the block on this fan and elevate it with a laser in order to gain access to that door. This feels like a really simple version of a puzzle we already did a moment ago, unfortunately, which is kind of a bummer. But it is a green challenge, so I don't think it's supposed to be challenging necessarily. Oh, I forgot to put the whoopsie. I forgot. Okay, so deactivate. There we go. I forgot that I need to turn the fan off. So let's connect and put it up there. You know what? Let's make it self-perpetuating. Let's just connect it to fucking everything. Yay! And it'll connect it to you too. Yay! Go. There we go. Now it's self-perpetuating and everything's open. And there's a cool network of lasers everywhere. Just to have fun. Disco techno laser party. But yeah, this feels just like a challenge I did like very recently. So kind of a bummer how simple it is, but it is green. They probably expected me to solve this one first and then try to solve the more complicated one later. Alright, that's all of C solved. Now it's just gonna sit there and blink at me for 17 years. It's kind of annoying. Alright, so let's see. This is a challenge where I could easily put a connector by the door. They made sure to make walls here so that you can't connect that to anything else. But my question is, let's take a look around in first person a bit. That's the shutdown chamber. Oh, there we go. Down there's another doorway. So if that one has lasers in it, then I may be able to connect them. I want to test that feature out just to see if that's really how it works, because someone suggested that you could connect lasers through purple doors. So I'm going to set this one up in advance. There we go. Just set it up line of sight wise. There we go. There's a blue laser here. That's a little too close to the wall. I don't like that. Try it again. There we go. Slightly better. So we'll see if we can connect it across there if that chamber has lasers in it. I'll just go there next, just to keep it fresh in my mind. Because it would be good to, if nothing else, just test the idea of like, can you put a laser through a blue barrier? I mean, a purple barrier. This one has... It has a connector, it has... I'm sorry, can't read this. First person. Play, fan, block connector. Okay. Alley of the pressure plates. Ooh, and there's the lasers. Okay. So right off the bat, before we do anything else, let's test this out. Okay, mystery solved. You can connect lasers through purple barriers. We've confirmed that now. Interesting. Not an immediate solution here, because obviously I can just get that color of laser right here, so it's not relevant yet, but that'll be an important piece of information that I might need later. So, oops. Meant to put that on the block. There you go. Put that back where it was. Now let's proceed to figure out what to do around here. Okay, so we have a recording station. We haven't used one of those for a while. We have this block, which does that one. Okay. So if I record myself with the block here, then I can pick up the block and go through here and open this. But then I need to open the next one. Oh. How do I open multiple of them? Alright, so first of all, this one does a fan. I don't necessarily have an immediate use for the fan, so I'm going to disable this and move on. Because this thing applies pressure, which means I can put it on the first one, and I can put this on the second one and apply pressure here. If I record this one, then I can do it on the next one, and that allows me to move through. Okay, so let's hit record. They see me recording. Yeah.
Hey everybody, I just got home from my shopping trip.
Something about vlogging. I don't know. I don't understand vloggers. I can't even pretend to be a vlogger. Alright, that's probably long enough. Alright, so here we go. I made it. Now what do I do here? There's another button. Shit. Okay. Is there another block around here to help me? Or did I just get trapped? There's nothing around here, just a big open field. There's no receptacles of any kind. Hold X to reset. Is that how they deal with it if I break a puzzle altogether? Because, yeah, they don't even let me get out, do they? Yeah, there's no way in and out. So I need to somehow get this all the way over here, huh? Okay, I get it. I just need to grab the laser. Okay, let's hold X. Bing, 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 bing. That was jarring. Okay, so immediately put these on the first two. Ta-da! Let's record for like 10 seconds, and I just move both of them. Makes sense. And then I have access to the final chamber, which could have who knows what in it, but I don't know. Granted, once I get inside, I could get vital information that completely undoes this process, and I have to start over again. Entirely possible. What do I find in here? Blue connector. Okay. Blue connector and ladder. So, there's our piece. We need to connect the blue here. This complicates things a bit. I probably can't connect through here. Shit. Da-da-da-da. Let's see here. So I need to get... Wow, I need to get from that laser spot to there. That's awkward. And I have to do it not having the ability to record. Huh. So I hop over this. It's a one-way ladder, right? So I can't come back here. So I need to somehow get through both of those doors twice. Oh, right. If I put down the two pieces... Right, I put these two down, and then I stand on the third button for a while it's recording, then I'll have three of them open, which gives me the ability to actually move some of these objects through. This might be difficult still. Either way, let's reset again. Just because it's easier than dealing with all the stuff I have around here. Okay. Still don't think the fan has immediate uses, does it? Or do I need to set up the... What the fuck, man? Okay, do I need to specifically set up, Okay, I think I know what's going on here. So, I'm going to set up this stuff here. I think I specifically need to set up the elevated fan. Huh. Da-da-da-da. How do I... Hang on a second. So my goal here is, what I can do here is I can record myself standing here, which opens up every door basically, except the last one. And then what I can do is during the recording I can go back, grab these things, put it in here, and set up the fan to fly, so it's flying up there and on the lasers. My question is, how do I get this door open so I can power the... Huh... My problem here is I don't think that, hang on a second. One brief second, there we go. I don't think it doesn't stay centered, right? Really wish the secondary worked the way that people said it would. Because yeah, this won't stay centered, it needs a block under it. So my question here is I need to figure out, so step one is to stand on these three things so that they're all open, and then try to get... Huh. Then try to backtrack. I'm trying to process the idea of how I keep this door open while also getting the block inside of here. Can't move the fan. Oh, but what about the memory of the fan? Oh, if I move the fan in here... That's not what I meant to do. Can the fan be used to block this? That's an extra piece. What the fuck? I might lose my mind here. This might be really hard. So we have multiple detachable items. Okay, so now I have full access. So if I record like this, it'll be wide open, right? My question is then, how do I connect the laser though? Because I need the fan. I need to get all of these items inside the door somehow, while also... What the fuck, man? Okay, I'm starting to lose my mind. I'm gonna have to stop and think about this one for a while, I think, off camera, just because you guys don't need to see this anymore, but holy shit, I feel like I'm so close. Okay, so I think I figured out what I'm trying to do here. I have two problems that seem impossible, and so clearly the impossible problems are what have to be solved by time travel. And I think it's multiple stages here, so obviously I need all four of these done, and you can't get through all these barriers using the tools at hand. You need to use time travel. I solved that immediately. The thing I've been missing is obviously this problem here is that I need all three of these objects behind the door, and I can't do that in real time because of time travel problems. So my issue, let's put this down real quick and grab these items, because they don't need to be right here. Here we go. So, I think what I'm gonna do here is, there's both ghost, like, rewind time, and there's real time. In the real world, as what I'm gonna call it, or real time, I need all three of those items behind the door so they can light up the laser. That's my primary goal. But I also, I can use old time to open these barriers to get through there. And because in real time, I need to be all the way over there, and all my stuff needs to be over there. So in the ghost time, I need to somehow have this door open so I can get all these things through, and all these doors so I can get through. Obviously, me getting through is going to be the final thing that has to happen, because that's how I end the thing. So I think I need to use Ghost Me to open this door so I can put all that stuff in, and then use Ghost Me to open that door, is where I'm going with this, I think. So, let's grab all these connectors real quick. Let's put everything together so I can deal with it. So, we're going to start recording. I'm going to hang out on this button. And we're just gonna hang out for a while. I'm gonna refresh the email application on my cell phone. Gonna hang out, give myself some nice time to proceed without having to rush too much. Yeah, let's go for 20 seconds. Okay, so 20 seconds. Now, quickly, let's open every one of these barriers. I don't know why I'm rushing now. This part has no reason to rush. I have to rush when I start doing real time. Okay, then I'll stand on here and just chill. And chill. And then that should allow future me to get through, right? So, now it's time to go to the not recorded version. Because this is where things get tricky. Okay, so, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Put this down. You go on that. Motherfucker. Connect. Frantic. Okay, I made it. Okay, we did it. It's connected and it's floating. Doors open. Now I just need to wait for old me to open the passages up. Yeah, we did it. Right? We win? I did it. Yeah. There we go. So that I just had to learn how to recalibrate my thinking process, basically. Basically, when you're in these situations with the time travel thing, you just have to think of, like, all right, think about the puzzle. Like, how would I solve this puzzle normally? And what is the one obstacle? In this case, mostly this thing. What's the one obstacle that's in my way? What's the one thing that makes this puzzle feel impossible? And then see how you can use the time travel element to make the impossible thing no longer a problem. Is the solution there? I just need to think about that in proper terms in the future. So,